And besides explaining to you guys how to do a crazy low drop fade, I'm gonna explain to you guys the difference or the importance in not using a black comb. If you use a black comb, you can't really see the hairs that's sticking out. If you use a white comb, you can see the hairs more. If you use a red comb, you can see the hairs more. And I'm gonna be using these two combs throughout the video. And this is actually my brand, NextGenBarber. If you guys want to support me in any way, shape, or form, I'm going to be dropping these and hats and apparel soon. The link, if they're available, it should be in the description. Let's get right into the video. The website's not done yet, but the first 20 people to join the email list will get a 20% discount code for live. Anything and everything on the site, you will always get 20% discount. Everybody else will get 10% discount code. I appreciate everyone's support. I truly do. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope this video teaches you guys something new. Thank you so much. I'm always explaining to you guys why you need to give yourself 3 rooms worth of space to blend. He has plenty of space to blend to the top of his hair. The longer the hair is, the darker, the more support you need in the ridge area, right? If he has long hair that's slicked back, like how he does now, the higher I go, the more it's gonna look like a military haircut. So I need to give myself at least, first we gotta identify where the ridge area is, and the ridge area is right here. It's where the head starts curving in. It's like right here, right? So I put my finger there, my index finger, and then boom, boom, and sure enough, I have exactly 3 fingers room, so I know I can go to the top of the ear. Sometimes I cross through the ear, this time I don't have to. And he likes it a little bit like longer, so a drop fade, a low drop fade will be like this. You guys see that? A mid fade is like this, and a high fade will go all the way up here. So I'm gonna go here. Look down a little bit, and this is going to be a full haircut. So because it's going to be a full haircut, we're going to go to the other side and we're going to do the same thing over here. And this is with the lever all the way closed. I want to stay as close to the ear as possible. And why am I making my line with the lever closed? Well, it's easier to take the line out with the lever closed than it is if you make it with a trimmer. We're gonna step in front of our client, so I'm gonna give you guys a POV of exactly what I do. And I'm gonna make sure, Christian, would you mind looking into the camera real quick? So I wanna make sure, look a little bit to your left, and look a little bit to the right, to the other, yeah. And look again. So I wanna make sure that both of these lines are symmetrical, both of these lines are straight. And I can tell that this one's a little bit higher, so what am I gonna do? I'm just gonna go up a little higher with this line. Now, I wanna make sure that they're both straight again. And they look pretty symmetrical to me. So that's important to do at the very beginning. Now the next step is gonna be with the lever open. We're gonna go about a comb's width, right? So the smaller you make this line right here, the more compressed it's gonna be. So if someone asks you for a compressed fade, this line is gonna be like this, right? And you're gonna have very little room to fade this 0 line. So I wouldn't suggest doing compressed fades unless you know what you're doing. If you're more of a beginner, give yourself a little more room to blend. So I'm gonna go up a little bit higher. And keep in mind, we wanna keep the C-cup area a little darker because we're gonna give him slight C-cups. Not too crazy, but we're gonna give him slight C-cups. And now we're just gonna go all the way around. Like I said, we're gonna give ourselves enough room to blend. As we go up to that line, I'm kind of flicking out a little bit. And the importance of flicking out is you don't wanna go up and then down, up, down, or up and out, because you're gonna make a hard line. You see the difference between this line and this line? This line's a little more soft. So when you go up there, I want you to go up there like you know what the hell you're doing. Like you've been doing this for 10 years, because that confidence is what's gonna help you make a softer line like this. Look, I'm not doubting myself. I'm not second guessing myself. I know exactly what I'm doing. So pretend you know what you're doing and do it like that. I'm gonna have to keep switching the camera angle, guys. I'm doing this just for you guys because I hate doing full haircuts because they take forever. If you see the time back there, we're probably gonna finish like at 10:40 or 10:50. This haircut usually takes me 20 minutes. So cool. Like I said, we're not spending too much time on this line. And these next 2 steps are gonna be super simple. All we're gonna do is close the lever 2 notches down, 1, 2, and we're gonna go in between. And you see how you can barely see that 0 line? It's because we flicked out, right? So we're gonna go in between both the 0 line and the half line that we just made. And we're gonna create a smooth flicking out motion. We're not gonna spend too much time on it. We're gonna give it like 2 passes. That was the first one. Now we're gonna go back and redo it just to make sure all the hairs are cut evenly. Cool, now we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Blaze up, huh? I'm gonna open it up half all the way because I feel like it's a little too dark over there. And there's the part, you see how this is the part where I did that? And it's gonna make it a little harder for me to blend that part. That's why you don't wanna do that. So now we're gonna go back to the lever halfway open. Cool, now to take care of that 0 line, we're gonna close our lever all the way down. And we're not gonna rush it, we're not trying to, everyone thinks that I cut fast like this. That's not how you cut fast. You cut fast by being efficient. You cut fast by not coming back to retouch things that you already should have done, right? So after we're done with this, we're not gonna come back to this line. Look down a little bit. This is all the way closed. I opened it 1 notch. Now I'm gonna close it all the way again. Now I'm gonna open it up all the way just to make sure everything's even. Now I'm going halfway because I feel like it's a little too dark here. And this is things that you're gonna learn as you cut more hair. This is called lever play. So now with the 2 guard method, we're gonna use our 1.5 guard that comes with your T-POBs. And we're gonna go about 1/2 inch up. Not 1/2 inch, what am I saying? So we're gonna go, you see how like the comb goes from thin to thicker? We're gonna give ourselves about this much room to blend, which is gonna be the ridge area. So that was our first finger, our second finger, and our third finger. So if you think about it in finger terms, your pinky should be your half line, and then your 1.5 line should be these 2 fingers. Do you see the difference? This is 1 finger, which is your half line, and your 1.5 should be 2 fingers, which is exactly at the ridge area where we need it to be. So we're gonna go up a little bit higher with this, but it's very important to keep a flicking out motion. If you're not comfortable with doing this, flicking out like that, right? You see how it's a smooth line right here? If you're not comfortable with that, I highly suggest you get a 3 guard with the lever closed. This is for more advanced haircuts. This is somewhat beginner friendly, but not truly. See how I'm flicking out? See how I'm going all the way up there? And I'm not scared. I'm going very, very light, very light. Like my clipper's barely on his head. And I'm just gonna repeat the whole process across the head. And if I make a little bit of a harsh line, it's nothing to worry about. Nothing to worry about, nothing to worry about. Now I'm just gonna go over the whole thing again just to make sure all these hairs are cut evenly. Now I'm applying a little more pressure because this pass around is just to make sure that all these hairs are cut evenly. The first pass around was just to make that line. So the second pass around is to make sure we're cutting efficiently and we're cutting evenly. Because if you don't cut evenly, you're gonna struggle to blend out. Okay, cool. Now back here, you can see the line that I'm always talking about, which is this line right here. See how it goes up and then out? The way to do that, the way to fix it, and I always say, is to grab your comb. I'm trying to hold it. I usually hold my comb like this, but if I hold it like this, I might get in the way, but this is the only way to do it. So I'm gonna scoop it out, right? And then turn it, scoop, turn, and you guys see this line right here? When I stop seeing hair right here, all these hairs I gotta cut because I gotta make a straight line. Once I make a straight line, watch this. Look, this is what I need to cut right here. You guys see that? So now I know that I can just do this. I know it's a little scary, but look how perfectly that blends. See how perfectly this blends right here? Now we're gonna do it right here, watch this. We're gonna go here. And I keep my eye right here on the hair. Put a lot of pressure, now take the pressure out and slightly tilt it. And I know that this hair needs to blend with this hair, and these hairs are getting out of the comb already. So that's how I know when to stop. And I just go here, and I cut all that. It's gonna start blending smoother. Now we're gonna go again. We're gonna go a little faster just because we don't have that much time. And we're just gonna do the same thing all around. And you can do different angles. Right here, I'm gonna go underhand. Look down a little bit, bro. I'm gonna go underhand a little bit. Cool. See how easy that is with clipper over comb? Now we're gonna go here and repeat the same process just to make sure the ridge area blends to the top. And if you see closely, if you keep your eye here on the ridge area closely, you'll see exactly which hairs I need to cut. And when you know what you're doing, when you're confident in what you're doing, you see how easy it is to just go in there. Because I'm not second guessing myself. I know that hair needs to connect. I know this hair needs to connect with this hair, and the only way to connect it, you see how everything's now if you know it's connected properly, you'll see that all the hairs comes out the comb at the same time. Watch this. See that? That's how you know it's connected properly. Cool. Now with the half guard that also comes with your TPOB, we're gonna go with our half guard with the lever open, and we're gonna try not to go too high up because we need to keep this area dark. So very, very light with the lever open. We're just gonna make sure this line starts to slowly blend out. So this area right here looks really dark, and that's just because of those two bones that I'm always talking about. So this area is always the hardest part to blend. Now we're gonna go with the lever all the way closed, and we're gonna just focus on this line right here. And you can see that his hair is growing sideways here, so we're gonna go sideways against the grain. The hair's growing this way, so we're gonna go the other way. And we're gonna use mainly our corners. And I made a mistake. I was using this corner. You don't want to use your top corner. You always want to use your low corner. So top corner, low corner. If I go the other way, this is my top corner, this is my low corner. You always want to use your low corner. So I'm gonna go here. And look how smooth that blends. And I can still hear the hair cutting. Go with the lever all the way open because right here is still a little dark. This chair gets stuck. And we're not fully done with the fade. We still got a detail, but it's 90% done, and we did it quick. Next side, we're gonna repeat the same process. I'm just gonna speed it up. So what process are we gonna repeat? We're gonna go with our half guard lever open, and we're gonna go around right here. We're not gonna go too high because we need to keep this area dark. And then we're gonna close it all the way to get rid of this line. Watch the time back there and see how long it takes me. And I'm not gonna go fast. I'm gonna go regular speed. I'm just gonna speed it up for YouTube. Okay, and no surprise, so I'm done. That took me about a minute and a half. And no surprise that this area is the one that doesn't want to blend in the most. And if you guys remember that at the beginning of the video, I said not to go in and out because you're gonna create a hard line. And because I created a hard line, now I have to go back with the same guard that I put the line in with. And I put it with the no guard lever open. So now I'm gonna open the lever all the way, and now I have to go at it and flick out. So that's why it wasn't going away with my half guard. Now I have to use more corner work. gonna take me a little bit longer. And that's why it's very important to always have your lever or your clipper flicked in the flicked out motion, or else you're gonna make your life hard. You're gonna create hard lines, which is gonna make your life hard. So the whole idea is you wanna avoid hard lines. Okay, this shade is 90% done. It just needs detailing, and I saw something that I need to get. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna go with my trimmer, and I'm gonna get all of this to make it lighter. And you'll see the difference that a trimmer and a shaver, and I know most people are thinking right now, why are you doing this step for last? Why didn't you do it at the front, at the beginning? Just preference. That's it. I'm just showing you guys different ways of cutting, and the whole point of my channel is to show you guys that there's different systems out there. You just gotta find the one that works best for you. That's it. There is no right way of cutting. There's a million ways to cut hair. A million, not really a million, but a lot of ways. So try different ways out and see which one works best for you. And now, to finish off the haircut, we're gonna shave it. And I'm gonna flick out with my shaver still. If I don't flick out with my shaver, if I just go like this, I'm gonna create a hard line. So I wanna flick out, especially when we get closer to that 0 line. Right here at the bottom, I wanna make sure that I'm getting all the hair. Up here, we're gonna flick out. And I am using a babbleless shaver. TPOB is lagging with the shavers from TPOB, so I can't review them. I don't know if they're good or not. I've never had them. And I'm not gonna bore you guys with the scissor work. Scissor work is pretty fucking simple, okay? So you just need to understand two concepts. First, where does the hair want? Where do you want to style the hair? The hair is gonna get styled backwards. Naturally, when the hair is styled backwards, most of the time, the top, the front, is longer than the middle, and it gets shorter as you go to the back. So as you can see, this is all blending in semi-properly, pretty much all the way. When we did clipper over comb here, we basically blended the sides to the top. So we know we don't have to cut these hairs anymore because they're already blended properly. When we went at the beginning, clipper over comb, that's exactly what we were doing. So we know on both sides, this part is blended out how it needs to be, right? So we're not gonna cut too much from that side. Telling me I need you in my life. Brule, I'm almost done here, bro. So now, I'm gonna grab a section from the front, from the middle. I'm gonna extend it. I'm gonna cut, he comes every like week or 2 weeks, so I'm not gonna cut that much. That's how much I'm cutting, right? And remember, we're keeping the front long, which means when the front is gonna be the longest part of the haircut. Not way longer, but longer. And as you can see, my guide's right here. So I'm just gonna go, right? Extend it. And you don't need to create sections for this. His hair's short, right? I'm grabbing even sections. If you guys can see it from my point of view, it's 2 even straight lines here, right? So now I'm just gonna go here. And now I have my middle section. The middle section is cut. Now this section is cut, and all I gotta do is connect both sections. So I'm gonna come here. I'm gonna start slanting my line towards this over here, right? So I have my guide over here in the middle. I'm not guessing. And now, look, I have my guide from the side. It's right there. This hair's already cut. So I know this hair needs to connect with the hair I just cut. So I'm not gonna be shy. That's my guide right there. This is my guide right here. I'm just gonna connect both of them. Guide, connect. Let me see. Now to fully give it a smooth blend, I'm just gonna go up here. And I'm gonna go with my thinning shears. They work a little better when the hair's dry, but you can still do it when the hair's wet. It's not a big deal. Cool. Now we're gonna do the same thing on the sides. I'm not gonna show you guys the other side because it's the same exact thing. I don't want to bore you guys. We're gonna go into the lineup now. Most haircuts, the hair right here goes frontwards automatically. So most haircuts are gonna have a little taper lineup, right? Because the little hairs, they just kind of naturally come down. So we're gonna go. Some people like to trim these hairs. I don't like to do that personally because I feel like it gives it too crazy. It makes it a different shade. I want to keep it as dark as possible. So all I'm gonna do, comb these hairs down, or you can brush them. And I'm just gonna go very lightly. And I'm gonna keep it as natural as possible. I don't care about the line being straight right now, okay? I don't care about the line being straight. I just care about me keeping it as natural as possible. So we're gonna come here. I want to get my comb. Now I'm using a red comb, but it doesn't matter. And I want to measure from the tip of the eyebrow to the end, and it's about right here. So I got my finger on it, and I just want to make sure that the other side is the same length. So I'm going to come over here. And you see this side is dipping a little lower, so I'm just gonna bring this side a little higher. Okay, not crazy high, but higher. I'm gonna go to that side a little bit. So now we're gonna make a straight line from the end of the eyebrow to here. So a straight line, like this. So I'm gonna keep my comb there so you guys can see. Like this. And that's how you make the perfect lineup. And you don't gotta go over it too many times, you wanna keep it natural. Now I'm gonna turn them around so I can see the other side. Now we're gonna use enhancements, and enhancements do make your haircut better, but you should use enhancements only for the sole purpose of making your haircut look better, not to hide the bad quality of a haircut. So this is a high quality haircut already. We're just gonna enhance it to make it look damn near perfect. So I'm gonna shake the bottle. I use Temptation black, not dark brown. Now I'm just gonna go very lightly, like what, 12, 13 inches away from his head. We don't wanna go too crazy with it. Now here, I'm just gonna enhance, obviously. I'm gonna tilt it a little bit right here. I'm just gonna go very light on that C-cup area. And that just makes the haircut look way better. I'm also gonna add enhancements over here, just to make the top look darker. Keep in mind, the darker the top looks and the lighter this looks, the more the fade will pop out. Now we're just gonna detail any imperfections. We're gonna see any hair sticking out in the lineup. Any dark spots that I see, any like light areas that I wanna lighten up. Looks a little too dark there, looks a little too dark here. So I'm just gonna snip some hairs away. And that is how you do a low drop fade. Lineup looks sharp. Everything blends in nice to the back. Right here it's dark. So these are the great qualities of a great haircut. You have a sharp lineup, you have very light at the bottom, very dark at the top, and everything blends in smoothly. And you can see this line back here goes straight. So I know it was blended out properly in the back. See how straight it goes?